All is right in the world. Patriot fans are still keeping their Super Bowl tickets they bought prior to the season. This time last week, they had those same tickets on eBay. But with last night's convincing 43-17 victory over the Bengals, the Patriots have silenced their critics and asserted themselves as the Patriots of old, if only for the time being.
Eric, Fenway Park has turned from a ball field to a party. The Red Sox have won their third World Series in the last 10 years. This has become the golden age of baseball in Boston.
And with Mike Napoli joining Felix Dubron and Shane Victorino on the DL, the Red Sox have become the baseball version of The Walking Dead.
Belichick with more personality there than we've seen in the 14 years since in press conferences with the Patriots. Since that press conference, the Jets have reached 0 Super Bowls, the Patriots 5, winning 3.
I'm not a professional athlete, but I went running today in Denver and I was completely and utterly winded from the high altitude, or maybe I'm just out of shape. Either way, the Patriots hope the air doesn't bother them on Sunday. At this point, it just wouldn't feel right if the Bruins didn't go through the Habs on their Stanley Cup playoff run.
Are you going to hit one today?
No, I got to work, so I have to interview the stars like you.
You hear what he said? He's working. He's not working.
Well, you were giving me grief earlier. I didn't approach you.
I did, you know.
Take your coaching hat off for a second and become the kid that grew up in Providence. What does this tournament appearance mean to Providence College basketball?
It means that we've come a long way.
Tom Brady, like you said, was Bob Cobb the maestro?
Very good Seinfeld reference. I like that. Who doesn't love the maestro?
Gronk got involved, Edelman got involved, and Brady really outplayed Manning. We did not see that in the AFC Championship game last year.
Yanni, I know you weren't up there and Dondaro's up there, but the wind was a real factor.
It's a party in Denver. The Broncos are headed to the Super Bowl, and the Patriots are heading home. Mark, 8 teams took the AT&T Center floor today, all with the same goal. For the PC Friars, it's to extend this magical season and knock off a college basketball blue blood program, the North Carolina Tar Heels, and advance to the round of 32.
John Lester probably sat in the dugout tonight wondering what Pittsburgh is like in the summer, how the Crabs are in Baltimore, the Brats in Milwaukee, and the Beaches in Los Angeles. All possible landing spots for the Red Sox ace.
16th edition of this classic wrapped up today in historic fashion. We'll explain that to you in just a bit. A great couple days of golf, terrific weather, tremendous hospitality. Let's go to the highlights, shall we? The Sox players will get their World Series rings, which are approximately 25 times the size of my wedding ring.
A sure sign that this Boston Celtics season is in the wait until the draft lottery stage. All-star point guard Rajon Rondo will be the Celtics color analyst on the broadcast of Monday's Bulls-Celtics game. Sure, Rondo doesn't play in back-to-back games coming back from injury, but are the ratings that bad that you need your point guard to be in the booth? Bill Russell was once a player coach, never a player broadcaster.
Of course, the 11 a.m. Boston Red Sox game on Patriots Day is a staple of Marathon Monday. That was certainly the case today. The Red Sox have been so instrumental in the recovery in this city. First, the man of the hour, John Farrell. There was a moment right before you were getting the trophy where I kind of saw you just look around and you seemed to take it all in. At what point did you realize what had just happened?
Well, you know, I don't know that we can ever all take it in. It's still sinking in.
Providence, the very last of the 68 teams announced. It didn't matter. The Friars players and coaches knew they were in the big dance. It was just a matter of who and where they're playing. We finally know. Providence, as an 11 seed, will take on the 6 seed North Carolina Tar Heels Friday in San Antonio. Boston Bruins were the best team all year in the NHL, winning the President's Trophy and looking poised to win their second Stanley Cup in 4 years. But they weren't the best team in their series with the rival Canadiens, and last night it showed with the Habs winning the decisive Game 7. Prior to 2004, the Red Sox and Cubs were mirror images of each other, lovable losers with charming old ballparks and World Series droughts 86-plus years. Now the Sox have rebranded 3 World Series in 10 years, but the Cubbies, well, they're still lovable losers in search of a World Series. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and cold weather in Foxborough, the collective kryptonite of Peyton Manning. The Red Sox did some big-time holiday shopping over the last 24 hours. If John Lester was the big flat-screen TV they missed out on after a late night at Best Buy, well, Plan B was to go to the Warwick Mall and do some smart, prudent shopping for the essentials. In this case, starting pitching. The matchup has been set since Sunday, but it just now seems like the big dance here in San Antonio. Joined now by Hunter Mahan and Jason Duffner. -7 on the day. You guys did well on the back nine. Jason, your first time playing in this tournament. How were the conditions out there?
Yeah, it was nice. Pretty scoreable. I think you're seeing some good scores. Nobody's really running away with it.
You predicted the win,
Sure I
but
did.
did anyone predict
No.
a Patriots dominating win?
No, I didn't think they'd whip their tail the way they did.
Everyone's just turning to each other and asking what just happened. I mean, at this stage, Game 3 of a World Series, for a game to end in that manner, just one of the most bizarre endings you will ever see.
I know we've been telling you yesterday's Big East tournament win over St. John's could get PC in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2004, but we aren't 100% sure about that.
When they finished their rounds today after we did our interviews, a lot of them were carted off on a plane, but they weren't just going anywhere. They were going to 1600 Pennsylvania Ave to meet with President Obama.
The Pats and Jets are in their rightful spots in the AFC East division. The Pats at the top, the Jets at the bottom, at least if you ask Patriot fans. Arena, we should have a good one tonight, not only for bragging rights, but for what a win could do for each team's postseason resume. Hey, Mark, well, you know, the Patriots have always been the model NFL franchise, but over the course of the last week, this organization is suddenly in disarray.
Heading into last night, the talk around the Pats was that the dynasty was over, Tom Brady was at odds with the coaching staff, and the sky was falling. As the saying goes, winning cures everything.
And there's plenty to do here in San Antonio, plenty to eat. I asked Coach Cooley the other day if he'd be embracing the barbecue and the Tex-Mex, but he, of course, is on a lean diet. He said he'll stick to kale and protein bars.
Despite being an athletic powerhouse in just about every sport, we Americans feel like we have something to prove when it comes to soccer. Sure, we may be ranked among the top teams internationally, but there's always a feeling like we need to prove to the rest of the world that we belong. Patriot fans were horrified this morning when a picture surfaced of some Patriot players, including Rob Gronkowski and Shane Vereen, hanging out in LA with one Justin Bieber. It's akin to seeing a black cat walking under a ladder or breaking a mirror. It could be very bad luck when it comes to the Biebs.
Raucous.
Sure, it's a cliche, but it happens to be true. The two best words in sports, Game 7. We have one tonight at the TD Garden in Boston with bitter rivals, the Bruins and Canadians, playing in a win-or-go-home scenario.
Magic Johnson's familiar with baseball, of course, a part owner of the Dodgers, but it's pretty funny seeing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all 7 foot 2 inches of him, swing a baseball bat. We'll have those pictures for you coming up. 42-35, Patriots win, a high-scoring affair in this, the second preseason game between the Patriots and Eagles.
This last night in Kansas City was perhaps the worst brand of football we've ever seen in this Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era. The blame starts at the top. Belichick, the GM, Belichick, the coach, his coaching minions, Brady, the quarterback, the offensive line, defensive line, receivers, linebackers, you name it, a complete and utter organizational failure. This time the Red Sox lost 10 games in a row. Bill Clinton was in office and Roger Clemens was still in a Boston uniform. It was 1994. The Sox are currently doing a worst to first to worst routine, looking more like the underachieving 2012 Red Sox than the World Series champion 2013 squad. How about the crowd chanting Brady throughout the night? Tom obviously was the big story coming into the game. He played well. He had the sneak on that first drive.
Yeah.
Kind of silenced his critics with all that was going on outside of the field. What did you make of Brady last night?
I thought he was fantastic.
There's mutual admiration between Bill Belichick and Peyton Manning. Manning has called Belichick the greatest coach he's ever faced, and today Belichick called Manning the greatest QB he's ever faced. It's worth noting, though, Belichick has never faced Tom Brady.
Bryce Cotton was all world today. We know in Providence and in Rhode Island just how good this kid is. Well, he showed it on a national stage tonight. The best player on the court by far, a career high 36 points.
When you've won 3 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, and married a supermodel, you don't have much to prove in life. But Tom Brady was a 6th round draft pick, so he always has a chip on his shoulder. And this offseason, as people begin to question Brady's ability entering his 15th season, he doesn't have to look very far for motivation.
Just outside the 18th green at Rhode Island Country Club, what a day weather-wise, what a day golf-wise here for the first round of the CVS Caremark Charity Classic. Let's show you some of the highlights.
Here we go. The Pats ground crew clearing out the snow at Gillette Stadium beforehand. Would the weather affect Peyton Manning? Second quarter, Broncos up 7-6. Manning looking over the middle, picked off by Rob Ninkovich. He takes it down to the Denver 34-yard line. Ensuing possession, and the Patriots cash in. Tom Brady, pump fake, squeezes it in to Julian Edelman. 5-yard score. Patriots take the lead. And Edelman is just getting started. Britton Colquitt with trouble on the snap. He gets the punt off, but Edelman dodges one guy, goes outside. He's got some blockers, and then cuts back inside. Watch him go 84 yards to the house.
his 4th punt return TD in his career. That's a new Patriot record. All of a sudden, Pat's up 20-7. End of the half, same score. Denver goes for it on 4th down. Peyton Manning crushed by Akeem Ayers. Welcome to New England, Akeem Ayers. That set up this. Brady to Shane Vereen. Patriots went into the locker room up 27-7. 3rd quarter, Pat still up 2 scores. Manning looking for old friend Wes Welker. Welker can't hang on. That's Brandon Browner on the pick. That would lead to a Brady to Brandon LaFell touchdown. 4th quarter, New England piling it on. Rob Gronkowski's sensational one-handed grab. He'd score on the very next play. Brady outduels Manning, throwing for 4 touchdowns, and the Patriots get a statement win over the Broncos, 43-21. Hoppy not letting the controversy get to him. Top 3, Ortiz get out of town, way out onto Utah Street, a 2-run shot. He should have taken a selfie of that one. Sox up 2-0. John Lackey on the hill for Boston. Solid outing tonight. His lone mistake. This pitch he leaves up in the zone to Nelson Cruz. Cruz's 2nd home run in as many games. That ties things at 2. Lackey 6 strong innings, giving up just those 2 runs. More long balls. Top 5, Mike Napoli, perhaps feeling slighted from the president, mispronouncing his name to the deepest part of the ballpark. That is gone. Napoli 2 for 5, 4 RBI. Sox win their 1st of the year, 6-2 the final. Of the conference's 2 best players, PC's Bryce Cotton, Creighton's Doug McDermott. We start with Cotton. First half, defense collapses, giving Bryce the open 3. He knocks it down. Providence led by 9 at the break. Second half, PC up 12. McDermott trying to shoot. Creighton back into it. The 3 cuts the lead to 9. Back to Cotton now. Not to be outdone. Watch him go coast to coast for the layup. A team-high 23 points for Cotton. Friars up 7. Blue Jays not going away. Down 5, minute 20 to play. McDermott from way out. He had 27, lead down to just 2. Under a minute, Friars need a bucket, and it's last night's hero, LaDante Henton, knocking down the jump shot, putting away Creighton for good. The PC Friars win the Big East Championship for the first time in 20 years. They're going dancing. 65-58 is your final. The Canadians taking control of this one early on as the Bees came out flat. Danny Briere finds Dale Weiss for the score, putting the Habs up 1-0. In the second period, the Bruins had their chances, couldn't capitalize, while Montreal took advantage off the loose puck. Max Pacioretty 1 times at home. The Garden crowd in shock. Habs lead 2-0. Having not scored since Game 5, the Bees finally get one in the second on the power play. Jerome McGinley tips in Torrey Krug's shot to make it a 2-1 game. But that's as close as the Bees would come. Danny Briere with the insurance goal off Zdeno Chara's skate. It was that kind of night. The Bruins lose Game 7 at home to their arch rival. 3-1 the final, ending their season.
For the Yankees, number 2, Derek Jeter.
The iconic introduction for Jeter. A standing ovation, of course. Always a flair for the dramatic. In his first at-bat, bottom 1 with a man on, he rips this pitch deep to left, just missing a home run. That goes off the wall for an RBI double to make it a 2-1 game. To the 7th, game tied at 2. Jeter grounds it to short. This will score a run, and with J.J. Hardy's errant throw, 2 runs actually score to make it 4-2 Yankees. New York was up 5-2 in the 9th before the bullpen blew it. Tie game, and a script made only for Hollywood movies. Jeter took the plate in the bottom of the 9th with the man on, and here it is. He shoots it through the right side. Antoine Richardson hustling from second. Here's the throw. Not in time. Derek Jeter hits the walk-off RBI single in his final at-bat at Yankee Stadium. The captain does it again. Jeter says farewell in thrilling fashion. 6-5 the final.